Thank you guys for chilling with me on this Chilling with Mojo, where we try to turn an ordinary day into an extraordinary day. Today, I want to talk to you about my time as a private driver. Yes, I was one of those drivers that was like a limousine driver or one of those private drivers for like the rich and famous. I did have to go to the airport and drive on the tarmac and pick up some of my clients. Now, let's get into it. So, I was not a private driver for long, honestly. And when it comes down to the pay of a private driver, I think it is more on who you were getting hired by. Now, the company that I worked for, it was decent, but it wasn't decent enough to the point where I left construction and I was just like, fuck that. I kind of look back at construction and I was like, nah, I'm not having this, I can make in a week where I make as a private driver in like a month. So it was kind of stupid. But as far as going to events, going to weddings, and driving the rich, wealthy around, that is pretty much what I did. Now, where I live at, we have over 100 vineyards within 100, not even 100-mile radius, probably like within a 50-mile radius of my hometown. So I was doing a lot of that. I was driving a lot of ladies on the weekends to vineyards and stuff like that. So it wasn't too bad. The ladies, they kind of just got drunk and they had a good time, and I literally, what I did is just kind of sat there on my phone and waited until they got out. Now, did I take a pen from time to time, or did I go and smoke a bowl from time to time? Yeah, I don't work there anymore. I did go and smoke a bowl from time to time, or I did go and hit the pen from time to time. You're over there getting drunk, I'm sitting there not doing shit. So, let's see here. What was the farthest that I've gone? They wanted me to go out to West Virginia. I said no. I went up to Washington D.C. multiple times, and I think that's the farthest I went. From where I'm located, the farthest I went was Washington D.C. And it wasn't bad. Going to Washington D.C. is a culture shock. I live in a college town, pretty much. It's decent enough, but go to Washington D.C. and it is completely different. Did they tip a lot? Not really. Like, honestly, when it came down to it, I'm living off of the customer's tips. So, if you're listening to this and you have a private driver and you're able to afford a $20 to $30 tip that person. Don't just think, oh, the tip is included in the fare. The tip is not included in the fare. The tip comes out of your pocket, and the tip is allowing me to be like, dope, this is worth it. Now, if I'm driving around a family or something like that, or going to a wedding, and they're literally saying in the back seat, don't give out so much money, blah, 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 do you not think I'm kind of sitting in the front seat like, motherfucker, I just sat with you guys from the time I picked you up, maybe around 7 o'clock, to now, after midnight. And you're kind of like, oh yeah, you don't need to tip him. I sat in that car all fucking night, and you still aren't willing to tip me. And you think that the tip is included. The tip is not fucking included. Is there healthcare in being a private driver? No, there is not. There is no healthcare at all. There is no healthcare. Pretty much being a private driver, you are in a private business. So where I work in construction, I get paid probably $15 an hour. In a private business, you get no healthcare and you get paid $9 an hour because they say, oh, well, you got a tip. You didn't get a tip that day. So when I was leaving, they were kind of hyping up that, hey, we're paying people $10 an hour. And I'm looking at them like, fuck you. Is it great when you're a private driver? Not really. You're, from my point of view, I was on call all the time. So my thing is that I call my boss and I tell him like, hey, do you have anything available? No, we don't got anything available. Okay, so that means that tomorrow I'm off. I'm off, I'm probably doing something, or I'm just relaxing, I'm minding my own business, or I'm in bed with my girlfriend. Boom, you're gonna call me, hey, we got this like fair or whatnot. Do you want to do this? I need to make money, of course I'm gonna fucking do it. But when it gets to the point where they're calling you all the fucking time, where you can't even have a moment to relax, you're kind of gonna get burnt out really quickly. You know, I was nice to the business, I was nice to my bosses, but I feel that they kind of took advantage of me and was like, they used my niceness as, we can give you all the shit that we don't want to give everybody else because you're like the closest to the office and you don't need to get those big fares because you're getting so many of these other fares. Now, the type of clientele I've drove the new coach for the college team in my hometown. So this was kind of before he became a thing. I drove him into town, kind of private, a dinner and all that kind of shit, and then drove him back to the tarmac. So I thought that was cool. Like when I found out who the newest coach was, and then I realized like, hey, that was the dude I took out to dinner a couple nights ago. That was like, wow. But from where I work at, from my point of view, from my perspective, that don't mean shit. They don't give a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck that I was his private driver. Done wine tours, so that was a good majority of my stuff. I did the wine tours on the bus. That was a good majority of my stuff. And I did weddings. There was one time where I was at a wedding every week. Not saying it was bad, but you know, I was at a wedding like every week. So for like the past 2 to 3 months, I was at a wedding every weekend. It was kind of cool. It was kind of funny, but when you don't get tipped decent enough, when you're the one that's driving the broom, the bride and groom every single time, and you don't get paid as much as you kind of think that you should get paid for driving the bride and groom and not really getting told where the fuck to go until you get there. Yeah, maybe you should slide the driver $50-$60, because he's gonna make sure that they're good. I mean, even though I did, but at the end of the day, that's more of a yay kind of thing. Like, this is worth it. Would I go back to private driving after being in construction and all that? No, I would never give it the inkling of time to waste. I mean, the money that I would probably be getting is doing like a side job for somebody, like mowing their lawn or something like that, would be more money than I would be making as a private driver. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking to yourself, let me go after that private driver company or something like that, that's going to be interesting and cool, don't do it for a full-time job. Do it for a part-time job, do it for like 1 or 2 days a week, and there you go. As far as thinking like you're going to make it as a career, you're going to be a limo driver, you're going to go and move up in the company. If you live in a small town where I live at, technically that don't mean shit. I mean, I have good memories. Honestly, my boss, she had huge tits. But other than that, like, I just got good memories from it. And I mean, it was cool, it was fun, but towards the end of it, it was getting annoying. I was getting burnt out. And when you deal with like prestigious fucking people all the fucking time and you don't make anywhere near the money that they do, you're kind of just like, fuck this shit, man. I don't want to do this anymore. So, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm happy that I do construction. I'm happy that I'm doing what I'm doing now, but I would never go back to customer service or to the private driving sector. Now, I did go to the beach and I was able to drive nice cars, but at the end of the day, You are at their beck and whim. You are a slave. Well, not a slave, but you are pretty much indispensable to them. And that's it, you know. Sorry if this video seemed a little bit dim about private driving, but that's the bold, honest truth. It sucks. It's only for the rich and famous, and it's only like for the drivers that drive around and shit. It's only for the old people. It's only for the people that kind of are like, you know, as far as the young people, do it for a part-time job. Do it so you can get it under your belt and then move on to something bigger and better. Thank you for chilling with me on this Chilling with Mojo, where we try to turn an ordinary day into an extraordinary day. I'll be coming at you with another video, Chilling with Mojo, and you guys take it easy. Happy holidays. It's about to be Christmas and all that. It's about to be Hanukkah. It's about to be Kwanzaa. It's about to be other holidays, man. Just joy to the world and peace on earth, and just be happy that we're all alive and we're all together. Just be happy about that. Take it easy, guys.